Well, ladies and gentlemen, now I stand for the first speaker of opposition side of the House. Today, I would like to deliver 2 points of response to the proposition side of the House and 2 points of argument why this merge and acquisitions should not be regretted by the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this House regrets mergers and acquisitions within the tech industry, including Tokopedia, Gojek, Facebook, Instagram, Google, and YouTube. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when the proposition side of the House deliver that merger and acquisitions merger are unjustified, it's unjustified because it takes away acquired companies' freedoms when the bigger companies acquire smaller companies, then create the power imbalance into this motion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what we have to rebuttal here, what we have to put our attention on is that this problem that bringing by the proposition side of the House is exists, but the proposition is only make things getting worse. When two separate companies are acquisitions, it's already shut the goals of acquisitions because it could have the achievement faster growth in economical than having to build its own business unit in addition to raise their profit. And why it's so beneficial to the smaller companies? Because firstly, the bigger company, if they merge, it means that there will be a long-term explanation when a smaller company will be advertised by the parent company, which have a powerful to make the smaller profit rise up and publishing its company, the smaller company, how good its company, and so on and so far. Example, the company A is bigger than the company B. When a company A and merge with B, then in the moment A are accessible to public with a high profit every single year, then now they are acquisitioned with the company B, by directly B also will have a space to get over help from the parent industry to the long term their expansion to the marketplace. Ladies and gentlemen, secondly, power imbalance is okay. Why I say so? Because in the status of COVID-19, people and business are struggling together to stand under the COVID pandemic. They're struggling but rely on their own feet. No one can guarantee that a small companies can still alive, sustain, or survive in the post-COVID of 19. Ladies and gentlemen, in the moment the bigger industry to giving help, in the moment the bigger industry merge and acquisitions with the smaller industry in the post-COVID of 19, the power of big industry will protect the survivor industry, or we call the smaller industry, to giving help and rise up the growth of economic together. Why it's justified? Why do we say it's justified? Because in the momentum, bigger industry stand alone and survive. Also the same for the smaller one. It's an ideal condition where they can work and merge and acquisition together, share the investor, also struggling together in the terms of past the COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, move to the second argument that I will respond for the proposition side of the House is that, second of all, response to the proposition side when they state about the privacy data. Well, we couldn't deny that privacy data of the consumer are truly important, but 2 points should be a consideration to this merge. Firstly, the consumer are use the company's service for free. We paid our money to the restaurant, not to Gojek. We paid our money to the seller store, not to Tokopedia. In order for these companies gain the capital, or in order to they gain their profit, it's by the data analysis, because that's their way to developing and sustain their business. If there is no data, how they will understand and know the segmentation of the marketplace? Secondly, even if the privacy data of the consumer are absorbed by its company, what's the problem? The companies will not posting your privacy data on the internet, because the companies has commit when the data are late, the companies could get a cancel and report by the government or those suspected people, or the worst things like the companies will get a harm and consumer will leaving their market and move to the other business will truly happen to this world. Like the consumer move from the Gojek, example, consumer move from Gojek to Grab, or we move by our groceries and our stuff from Tokopedia, we move to Shopee. Ladies and gentlemen, why mergers and acquisitions within the tech industry should be not regrets? Why this merge is good is that, firstly, could help small companies on surviving their economical issues. Secondly, it is beneficial to the people who jobless. Start from my first argument. Firstly, why it could help because no one can guarantee a small companies can survive and keep sustained in the moment many big business are also face their consequences of COVID-19 where they also feel the harmful because of this post COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, by merge and acquisitions, the companies will be larger, will be wider explanation, will making it easier to the companies to obtain funds or financing because the creditor have more confidence in companies that are already established and have the larger assets. As an example, when you want to invest your money, you may choose the big companies which have a lot of evidence already that the companies have a lot of evidence during the time. Surely, we will not invest to the new companies because we have no braveness to take so many risky if our invest are not giving the result to ourselves. That's what the people thinks about it. They got established consumer without having a start from scratch. So, to reduce the risk of business failure because of this big industry are merged with the big one, they also get impact of help from the investor that believe to invest that money to these two companies so that the small companies also could be struggling. Well, ladies and gentlemen, secondly, why it's beneficial to the people who are jobless. In the moment two separate companies are merged and expansion of the marketplace will be wider. It means that they need more SDM or human resources to working on their industry. Besides that, this merge are preventing a company's worker to get a breaking labor relationship, or we call it PHK. Nowadays, thousands of the company worker have to be cut off from their work relationship between them and their companies because their company where they work because of the economical crisis that experienced by the company itself. Ladies and gentlemen, the companies have a difficulty talking their own economical problem to terminate the employment relationship with its employment. With merger, the operational advantages, which is to reduce economical scale of the average lot to production and also to increase the production volume. That's all of my argument. From all of my argument, I have to prove you why this house should not regret the mergers and acquisitions within the tech of industry because of so many beneficial, so many important things that should be put attention on this narrative text. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all for me. We are so proud to oppose.